Yajna, we are seeing Bhagavad Gita chapter 5. When we mention the word Bhagavad Gita, that actually is a mystery to so many people. It is an absolute mystery to so many people, Bhagavad Gita. Even in the name itself, people don't know. They say Bhagavad Gita. It is Bhagavad Puran, that is different. And Bhagavad Gita, they are two different names. But the Bhagavad Gita is so foreign to us that even the name we don't get correct. So I want you to say those two names for me. Repeat those two names for me. First one is called Bhagavad Puran. Say. Now there's a difference between Bhagavad Puran and Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad. See, the one is Bha. Bha. I want a Bha. In Trinidad, we have a habit of doing that. You'll see, for example, the person's name is Ravi. Everybody will call him Ravi. But there's no word like that in Sanskrit or Hindi. Ravi. But is that Murukha or what? Ra. Ravi Ramshuman, like the sun. Huh? So, here also, there's a difference between Bha, and there's a big difference, you see. That's why you have to get the names correct. So the first thing, Bhagavad Puran and Bhagavad Gita. So always try to say Bhagavad instead of Bhagavad Gita. There's no such thing as Bhagavad Gita. And I tell you why, what the difference is, a big difference. And if you don't say it correctly, then you're giving insult to the scripture also. No, we don't like to do. That's why we do Aarti for the scripture. You don't want to insult the scripture, na? The first is Aarti only, or in the end. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai Aarti. Oh, Ramayana ji ki Aarti. अरे भगवान को छोड़ो पहले शास्त्र को आरती करते हैं. First we do आरती for the scripture. We leave Bhagwan for last. First for the scripture, because we have so much reverence for the scripture. Now, suppose your name is Ram Singh. And anybody pass by your house, they call you Ram Singh. Only one letter change, eh? Only one letter. No, how you'll feel? So try to get at least the scripture. And it is not an accent. There are two words. When you tell some people, they say, no, that is an accent. Accent is something else. There are two different words, so you have to say the words correctly. So now, Bhagavad Gita. And what is the difference between Bhagavat and Bhagavat? Bhagavat means that scripture which is spoken by the devotee of the Lord. Bhagavad Puran. So in Bhagavad Puran, Ved Vyasji is giving, he's speaking, Shukadev is speaking, Suta is speaking. They are devotees of Bhagwan. So it's called a Bhagavad Puran. Bhagavad Gita is where the Lord himself is speaking. Where Bhagavad is there, Bhagwan himself is speaking directly. So now when you say Bhagavad Gita, then you are denying that the Lord is speaking. You say some devotee of the Lord is speaking. So that is an insult or not? You are actually telling very plainly, Bhagwan did not speak this thing. Somebody else spoke. You see? So, Bhagavad Gita. Now this Bhagavad Gita comes in the Mahabharata. Mahabharata has 18 parvas, 18 cantos. And in one of those cantos, that's called Bhishma Parva. In that Bhishma Parva, this Bhagavad Gita comes in there. And this Bhagavad Gita also has 18 chapters. So, Mahabharata has 18 cantos. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. And the Mahabharata war also lasted for 18 days. And this 18 is a wonderful number in Hinduism. But Hinduism is so wonderful. All the numbers nice. You know how? See, I'll tell you. If you say number 1. Right? We say that is a special number in Hinduism because there is only one reality in the universe and there is nothing else. So there is only oneness. So 1 is a special number or not? There is only oneness in the universe. So 1 is a special number in Hinduism. So if you say 2, we say, well, that also is an equally special number in the universe because that one reality has as his inherent power or Shakti, something called as Maya. So there is the inherent reality of the universe and his power called as Maya. So now there are 2. They're called as Ishvara and Maya, or Shiva Parvati, Sita Ram, Radha Krishna, like that. 2. So 2 also special. So if you say 3, we say, well, in Hinduism 3 also special. Right? Because we have Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. We have 3 lokas, or we say 3 worlds, higher world, lower world and middle world. Bhur Bhuvaswa. We say, we have the Trishul of Lord Shiva. We have the 3rd eye. 2 eyes and 1 more to open. So 3 also special. Suppose you say 4. Well, we say, well, in Hinduism 4 also special. Because we have the 4 Vedas. Then we have the 4 parts of the Antakarana. Mana, Chitta, Buddhi, Ahankar. Inside. So 4 also special. If we say 5, we say, well, 5 also special. 5, we have the 5 elements. We have the 5 senses. We have the Pancha Pranas, 5 pranas inside. Physiological functions. Which letter in Hinduism is not special? We say, there is no letter in Hinduism which is not special. If we go Shashta, 6, we say, oh, there is Manashasthani Indriyani. There is the 6th sense, which we call as the mind plus the 5 senses. Then there's Shadavikar, we call. 6 modifications of the mind. Any number you go, 7 Sapta Rishis. Just go on telling any number. We'll tell you. Now, among all of these numbers, this 9 number is very, very, very special. And any multiple, 9 is mysterious because any multiple of 9 results in 9. See, 9 by 2, 18. So we have 18 chapters in this Mahabharata, 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. The Mahabharata war lasted for 18 days. And 18 is ringing down throughout the scriptures, right? So in Tulsi Ramayana, there are 18 Gitas. Now this 18 is a multiple of 9. 9 by 2 is 18. If you add that 1 and that 8 from 18, you get 9. Any number you multiply by 9 and you add the digits, again you get back 9. It means to say 9 represents the manifestation of the reality. That no matter what manifests from this reality in the universe, in the final analysis, that thing is reducible to the reality only. It may appear like a man, like a tree, like a house, like a car, like a, a bird, like space, like air. It may appear like fire. It is all manifestations from the reality, but reducible to the reality. It means the fundamental thing from which it is made is reality only, God. So, in the very same way, this 9, any multiple of 9 is reducible to 9. But multiply 9 by no matter how many times. Again, it comes back to 9. So in this world, let us say this is a microphone. It is a manifestation of the reality. And when I touch, I am not merely touching microphone. I am touching the reality itself. Because all things are manifested from that. You see? The space is manifestation of the reality. So, this 9 number, very special. And the Mahabharata has this multiple of 9, 18 chapters, 18 days of war. Now, in this Bhishma Parva, Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. And if you add up the verses in those 18 chapters, totally we get 700 verses. Some chapters have, like chapter 1 has 47 verses, chapter 2 has 72 verses, chapter 3 has like 42 verses, chapter 4 has like, again 43 verses, like that. Chapter 5 is one of the short chapters, which we are going to study. Huh? The longest chapter is chapter 18, which has 78 verses. And the shortest chapter is 12, only 20 verses. But when you add up all of those verses together, we get 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. In the context of Hindu Shastras, Bhagavad Gita is very small. 700 verses is very small because of the magnitude of other scriptures. So now in this 700 verses, what is being taught and what is there, I want to tell you this. Now see, just last week, I told this thing in Warren, but all of you were not, some of you were there. Most of you were not there. So I have to tell you back again. Baba was there. Baba, you have to hear this thing second time. So, there were two groups of cousins. One group was called as Pandava, and the other group was called as Kaurava. And there was some land in dispute, some kingdom. There was a kingdom of Hastinapur, being the capital. That kingdom was in dispute. It actually belonged to the Pandavas, and the Kauravas had usurped the land. And they said, we are not giving any land back to any Pandavas. So Pandavas said, well, okay, in that case, we'll have to fight you all for the land. But in the case of the Pandavas, it was not merely a fight for land. It was a fight for dharma. Wherever there is injustice or adharma, it means to say, here is a group of thugs, hooligans. Oh, I don't know what other name you could call them. Who usurped other people's kingdom, land. So, you can't have a society, you can't have a viable society where there is no rule of law. No rule of law means anybody could just walk into your place and they point a gun at you and they say, okay, now vacate. You vacate. And you have to vacate, and then you also have no recourse for the repossession of your land. You have no recourse. There's nobody you could go to. It means that society is lacking the rule of law. So the Kauravas, by their very action, had established a state that is lawless, where there is no rule of law. It means that they had neglected to follow proper law. And if the rulers themselves do not follow proper law, well, then what is going to happen to the people? Jaisa Raja, Vaisa Praja. As is the ruler, the king, so are the followers, the subjects. So you can't just walk in and usurp people's land, or usurp people's kingdom. It means you have no respect for the rule of law, or in your mind, the rule of law is not important. But it is the rule of law that keeps society stable, structured, peaceful, secure, progressive, and all such things. If no rule of law is there, and in a place where those who are charged with the responsibility of upholding the rule of law, executing the law, implementing the law, those people who are charged with that responsibility, if they themselves neglect the responsibility, they themselves break the law, then the rule of law is crumbling. The rule of law is on its way down. And where the rule of law is on its way down, what you have what you have in Trinidad and Tobago. Huh? The people themselves charged with this responsibility, they themselves are part of the problem. In a small country like this, it is impossible for all of these drugs and all of these guns to be roaming our streets if the people who are charged with that responsibility of removing them is not in connivance with those people who are actually the perpetrators. It is not possible in a small country like this. So that is what the Kauravas had done at the time of this Mahabharata war. And Arjuna and the Pandavas, 5 they were in numbers, they thought that no, we have to stand up and remove these Kauravas, because their present actions will lead to absolute destruction in the future. Because societies are not destroyed suddenly like that. Slowly, slowly, decadence sets in. And the fundamentals of society, they are eroded. And before you know it, society itself is totally gone. So, the Pandavas waging war against the Kauravas is not merely for the recovery of land, but it is for the protection of Dharma. And that is why it is being supported by Lord Krishna. Because in the 4th chapter, he gives a very famous pair of verses which all of you know. That he comes to protect Dharma, to re-establish Dharma. And the Kauravas had totally eroded Dharma. See, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge sambhavami yuge yuge. He says, from time to time I come, from age to age I come, and I come to re-establish Dharma. Which Dharma? Is Dharma that has taken a beating. Dharma which has taken a beating by the inefficiencies and lack of will of so many people in society to uphold Dharma. The Dharma withers and it wanes and descends into the dust, and then society is left crumbling. So Bhagavan comes to re-establish the Dharma. And so Bhagavan made things in such a way that he is going to use the Pandavas. So it is a whole big scheme of the Lord, a whole big Leela of the Lord. He's going to use the Pandavas to re-establish Dharma, to demolish these Kauravas. Now what happened? All the people started to garner their support from every side, to muster up support from every side. And they started going to different kingdoms to ask for assistance. So the Kauravas went to different kingdoms to get assistance, and they got 11 armies, what do you call it, 11 Akshauhinis to help them. So on their side there were 11, and the Pandavas on this side, they only had 7. They got 7 armies. So the ratio was 11 to 7 against the Pandavas. But do you know, let me tell you one more very important lesson about this. Anything good in this world, the numbers are always less. Huh? That's true or not? अरे देखो ना, जरा देखो. मान लीजिए कि इधर आनंद के घर में एक चटनी शो है. Suppose in this house we have a chutney show. Huh? Of course, by Anand that is not possible. But just I'm just telling. So you think the numbers that we have here and the parking space and all, I mean this space here would have been sufficient? And the parking space and all? No, ना भैया, कभी नहीं होता है. जहां पर यमराज का काम है, wherever यमराज काम work is going on, I mean that thing which will bring death and destruction and debilitation, which will take you down, wherever that is going on, all the people flock there, and wherever anything good is going on, that will lift you. You say, भैया चलो ना उधर सत्संग है, come let us go, the satsang is going on there. First question he'll ask, why? Because you will learn something there, something good for your life. You'll get some food for thought. So he'll ask, but is there food for belly? So then you tell him, yeah, there's food for belly also. Then he'll say, okay, but tell me, how long it's lasting now? He'll go on asking a series of questions. How long it will last? You tell him it will last 2 hours, from 7 to 9. Then he tried to negotiate with you. Can I come at 8? You tell him, no. It is not respectful, And besides that, Swamiji don't like people coming late. So you come on time. Because he himself has come on time. So please, let's go at 7. Then he reluctantly agrees, So he comes at 7 o'clock. Then every minute, then he turns around and he's asking, he'll finish. So he's finding anything good. He finds all the reasons why he should not. That same fellow, you come in the morning, 6 o'clock by the house, and you blow horn, and you tell him, my trunk full, we go in Manzan. The same man, You go in Manzan, but you don't have to say anything else. He get up, he walk in with his clothes and his shoes and toothbrush in his hand. And he come in that car. You don't have to tell anything else. Because there is no opportunity to lift yourself. So Yamraj come going on, And there you only kill yourself. More and more. This is how this world works. So here the Pandavas, they only got 7 Akshauhinis to help them. And the Kauravas got 11. But one very important thing. Duryodhana, who was the eldest of the Kauravas' sons, and Arjuna, who was the most renowned of the Pandavas, they both went to Lord Krishna to seek his help, his assistance in this war. And Lord Krishna was sleeping at the time. Duryodhana reached first. And Duryodhana went and sat by Lord Krishna's head. Lord Krishna was lying down, Duryodhana came in first and went and sat by his head. Arjuna came second and came and sat by his feet. Look, even in the approach of the two of them, you're going to seek the help of the Lord. Even in the approach of the two of them, you can see all the choices of Duryodhana throughout the Mahabharata is like this. His choices are always wrong. That is called a pramad in Mahabharata. Pramad means so much of tamas is there in this fellow's mind that every choice he makes also, that choice is the wrong choice. Is that the choice that bespeaks of the tamas that was there at the root of his personality. At the feet, Arjuna sat, which itself demonstrates the humility and the meekness of Arjuna. Duryodhana coming first went and sat by the head, which itself demonstrates the abhiman or the ego of Duryodhana. When Bhagavan Shri Krishna opened his eyes, now see, what a wonderful thing about being meek and humble. When the Lord opened his eyes, even though Duryodhana is closer to his eyes, when he opened his eyes, he saw Arjuna first. Because when you open your eyes are facing towards your feet or not. So his drishti fell on Arjuna, and on whoever the Lord's drishti falls, that is going to be the fortunate person, isn't it? That is going to be the blessed person. So his eyes fell on Arjuna. Then both of them expressed their willingness for Lord's help. Bhagavan said, okay, I'll tell you what. I am here, and my whole army is there. One of you will choose me, and one of you will choose my army. And one more thing, I will not fight. Lord Krishna said he will not fight. I will just be on that, whichever team chooses me, I will be on that team only. No fighting. And since Duryodhana came first, let Duryodhana choose first. So the Lord is totally unbiased in this whole thing. In 9th chapter he says it's a very nice thing. He speaks of his unbiasedness in very unambiguous terms. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha. I have no love or no hatred for anybody. Duryodhana came first. Choose first. I am giving choice now. Duryodhana thought, what is this? Lord Krishna himself will not fight. Why I need him then? He'll do nothing, he'll sit there. Huh? Bekar hai wo. Means he's useless. See what he's thinking? The Lord is useless. Better I choose the army. And he chose the Lord's army. And Arjuna said, shh. Prabhu, I'm so glad that he chose the army, because he left you for me. And the Lord there represents the Lord of the universe, and his army represents the Maya. And this is where the human mind, human intellect goes on making all wrong choices, one after the next. Instead of choosing the Lord, we choose his Maya. That's why the satsang represents the Lord. The satsang is where the Lord is spoken about. The chutney show represents what? The Maya. So that everybody chooses it, just like Duryodhana. Everybody choose the Maya. Right? And go there. Pump up your flag. Everybody go there and everybody choose that. He said, Bhai, Kabir Das ji telling, Bina satsang kumati nahi chute. Without satsang, never will be able to remove all of these deficiencies from the mind. But still it doesn't come. You see? So blessed all of you who have found yourself here. And it is here that you will learn slowly to make the right choices and not be another Duryodhana. The 11 Akshauhinis outnumbering the Pandavas. In spite of outnumbering them with 11 Akshauhinis, they were demolished and turned into dust, pulverized to nothing. All the Pandavas. What happened? Because on Arjuna's side, even though they were less in numbers, they had Bhagavan. Don't worry about your numbers and your physical show of strength and all that kind of thing. In the vast and powerful, limitless expanse of time, in this same Bhagavad Gita, it is told, in a short time, in Bhaja Govindam also Shankaracharya tells, Haratini Meshat Kala Sarvam. In a moment, in a flash, strength gone, wealth gone, health gone, contacts gone, or everything gone, life gone. In a Maya Maya Midamakilam Bhutva Brahma Padam Tvam Pravisha Viditva. Turn the mind to Brahma and leave the Maya. What Duryodhana did? Turn the mind away from Brahman Bhagavan and chose the Maya. So now the choices were made. 11 to 7 ratio. All of them gathered on the battlefield there of Kurukshetra, and what an uproar, pandemonium in the air. They started blowing all their horns and trumpets and tabors, and kettle drums started playing, and noise rented the air. It was, even all the birds flew south. But we'll migrate from here until this whole thing is over. And here now, all the two sides are ready for their fight. Bhagavan Shri Krishna, on the instruction of Arjuna, or on the request of Arjuna, became the chariot of Arjuna. And now Arjuna has to command the one who is the master of the chariot. He has to command the chariot here. So he commanded Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Prabhu, Senayor Vayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechuta. Oh Achyuta, place my chariot right in between these two armies, in the middle there. I want to see who is on the other side. I want to see who is, everything there is symbolic. Huh? Everything there is symbolic. Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives this whole Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna right in between the two armies. It means Arjuna had left his army and he had not gone to the other army, but he was right smack in the middle. And this piece of symbolism is absolutely important if you have to understand Atma Gyan. Let me tell you about this, please. If you come to satsang, please try to make yourself stand in the middle. You will get the Atma Gyan. Arjuna made the Lord take the chariot in the middle, and he got the whole Bhagavad Gita there. And he got it clear also. And he told him, Nashto mohaspritil labdha, karishya, vachanam tava. The whole thing became clear. I will do your bidding. What you say is correct. All my delusions have gone away in the end of Gita. That is because he was standing right in the middle. And the symbolism there is, when you come here, suppose you are Sai Baba, Ram Krishna Mission, Divine Life Society, Hare Krishna, Chinmaya Mission, whatever you are, Mahasabha, Swaha. It means when you come here, see Arjuna left his side and went right in the middle. When you come here, leave whatever you come with. If you come with what you have, you will say, no, Swamiji, you're talking we stuff, you know. So whatever you come with is going to prevent you from acquiring anything in this Gita. You will go back with nothing. So it means, that's why you have to leave your slippers outside. Oh, sorry, Anand, I didn't mean like that. Traditionally, we leave our slippers outside. It means you leave your side. Arjuna left his side. Went in the middle. No, he's not on this side, no? That's it. So you're not this, you're not that. That is symbolism there. That is how you should make your mind ready and prepared, conducive to learning the Bhagavad Gita. If you go with all your preconceived notions and your ideologies and ideas there, that itself will prevent you from learning. That is, you see, our great Swami Tapovanji Maharaj used to sit in Himalayas. He was a majestic Mahatma. Never left the Himalayas, sitting there. A great scholar came one day and he told, Swamiji, I heard that you are the greatest Mahatma in this Uttar Kashi. I want you to teach me now Atma Gyan. Swami Tapovanji Maharaj said, okay. ठीक है. Swami Tapovanji Maharaj took up a glass that was filled with water. It was sitting here. He took a full glass of water and he put it on the table in front of him. And he took a jug that was sitting there and he started filling the glass. So the scholar who had come, he said, Swamiji, what is the matter with you? The glass is already full. Why are you filling more? Stop pouring. Swamiji went on pouring for a couple minutes and the glass was overflowing like that. Swamiji put down the jug and he said, you are like that full glass and you come here for me to give you Atma Gyan. Go back and empty your glass and then come so that I will be able to full something. So that is why we are saying that when you come here, come with an empty glass. What is the use of you pouring into a glass that already full? Full with what? Your own notion, your own beliefs, your own ideology, the things which you adhere to, and they will not mesh with what is being said. The two don't jive. So if they're not jiving, what is the purpose? Why you came? Come prepared to learn. Come with a mind conducive to learn. This move of Arjuna, leaving his side and coming in the middle, is symbolic because it's very important prerequisite for Atma Gyan, for the learning of the knowledge of Atma. So now, when he went in the middle there, between these two armies now, he looked on the other side. Oh, he broke down. He collapsed. He suffered a seizure. His brain froze and tears started to come from his eyes. Visrijya sasaram chapam shokamanasa vignam nasaha. His bow and arrow fell out from his hand and tears came down and he sunk to the ground He started to feel feverish. The brain froze, but the body was feeling fever. His mouth became parched. Arjuna did not know what to do. He tells to Bhagavan Shri Krishna in the second chapter, when he finally decides to surrender to the Lord. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetah Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me Shishyaste ham shadhimam tvam prapannam Shishyaste ham shadhimam tvam prapannam Prabhu, I have become your Shishya now. Now you teach me because I really do not know what to do. But if you look from the beginning of the first chapter till this verse in the second chapter, Arjuna was going on telling the Lord why he should not fight. And after talking, the Lord was not answering also. Let me tell you something. This is one of the best technique you could ever use when somebody goes on talking, you know. Anybody goes on giving you any argumentation or they go on talking, you use the same technique that Bhagavan used. But Bhagavan was quiet. Absolutely quiet. In the whole of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 47 verses, Bhagavan says not even one single word. Whole chapter. He's looking at Arjuna. The next time anybody comes to you and they're complaining and suggesting and talking non-stop, you just say quiet. All that talking will stop. Then they'll wonder, what's wrong with this person? But they could only wonder, they can't talk. Because they know that you're not talking. So, now Arjuna realized, but this Lord is not, saying anything. Better I stop, let me see if he'll talk. Maybe I was talking non-stop, I didn't give him a chance. There are some talkers like that, In the world, there are some talkers. They talk so much, they don't give you a chance even to reply. So we also have to watch the way we talk. You know, so I wonder if I'm one of those people who talk non-stop. Of course, my work is to talk. I'm talking about in conversations and all when we are sitting. There are some people who don't give the others a chance to. I don't know how they breathe also. They talk so fast and so non-stop that I don't know if they are breathing or what's going on. So now, Bhagavan was quiet. Then Arjuna realized, this Lord not saying anything? Finally, when the Lord spoke, he gave such a scolding to Arjuna. What is this? A big, educated, well-accomplished, famous individual like you crying? But the Lord is also telling a most wonderful fact about this universe. Please see this. In the Lord's response, you have to see behind the lines. Please see this response of the Lord and what it is actually implying for our life. Arjuna's, one of his name was called as Dhananjaya. What is his name? Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya name he got because nobody had ever conquered so much wealth for that kingdom as Arjuna. In his glorious and valorous escapades all over the world, he had conquered the most wealth, more wealth than anybody could have conquered. So he got the name Dhananjaya. It means there was nobody as wealthy as Arjuna. Arjuna was Dronacharya's best student. So there was nobody more educated than Arjuna. So nobody more wealthy, nobody more educated. Arjuna was the most, even though our Yudhishthir was the eldest of the Pandavas. See, you don't hear Yudhishthir's name. All you hear is Arjuna's name. So he was the most famous of his time. He's glorious of his time. Then, not only this, was he the best student. Because he was the best student, he was the most favorite of everybody also. So what this fella did not have going for him, it means he was the most successful individual of his time. But that successful individual broke down on the battlefield like a little child and started crying. Bhagavan's message is, and you see, Bhagavan set up the plot in such a way that all the great messages will come to us. Bhagavan's message is, when things get tough and when the crunch really comes down, money, name and fame, education, power and position, none of it will be able to help us. And you know, I see this thing every single day. Every single day. I see this drama unfolding right in front of my eyes. And none of the things of this world could really help us when the crunch comes down. And that is what happened to Arjuna. And when he saw his own cousins, Guru, Bhishma, his grandfather, he saw everybody on the other side, uncles and all people who he had grown up with, all people who he knew for such a long time. When he saw all of them, in his heart came this great feeling of kripana, karpanya in the verse it is called. Started feeling sorry for them. Sorry born from ignorance or the absence of knowledge, and clouded his mind and made him shirk from his duty as a Kshatriya. And sorry which also eroded the confidence in his heart. Sorry which eroded the strength from his body, because he became weak, that he could not even hold his own bow and arrow. That type of feeling which entered his heart crippled him. He could not even control the tears coming out from his eyes, because the crunch came down. And everybody in this world who lacks the knowledge which Bhagavan Shri Krishna is going to give in this Bhagavad Gita, everybody is subject to these type of vagaries of this world, because none of the things in the world could save us. Proven by Arjuna. No worldly thing, acquisition, could save us when the crunch comes down. And the crunch will come down for everybody someday or the next. It doesn't matter who we are. The crunch will come down. This Atma Gyan is the only saving Gyan. And this is the Gyan which is given by Bhagavan Shri Krishna to Arjuna here. And when it happens now, when after all of this, Arjuna surrenders to Bhagavan. He says, Prabhu, no. After talking, he realized, look, all this, better I surrender, you know. So he tells the Lord, my mind is confused. And you please now tell me what is exact thing I should do. Should I kill all of these people who I know? So the thought of upholding Dharma through my duty, that went out of his mind clean. And that is what is lacking today in society also. The Arjuna situation, the Arjuna disease is the exact same malady that we suffer in society today. There's nobody prepared to stand up and protect Dharma. Because he's only thinking, but my people? I'll kill my people? So in the protection of my people, I can even destroy Dharma. And the person doesn't care anything. That is called pap. In the second chapter, he tells him, if you don't stand and fight your battle, papam avapsyasi. Papam avapsyasi means you will commit sin. Because in the protection of your people, you destroy Dharma also. And that is what is going on in society today, you know. I'll give you a simple example. See, in all the different places that you see what is going on, every day we're seeing some different thing on the news, right? So the people who are in charge, they take the land and they give it to their people. They take the contracts and give it to their people. It means there is a system in place, there are structures in place, guidelines in place, which tell how you disburse funds and how you give contracts and all of the tendering process and everything, right? That process is meant to protect dharma. How? Because it protects justice and fairness and equality and all of those things which are represented by dharma. So the fairness and equality and all, they are protected by these processes and laws and structures and regulations and all that. Now, you go right behind all the laws and structures and regulations and everything, and you call one of your own people and you give the contract. So where is justice? Where is fairness? Where is equality? Where is, all the great principles of dharma? All of them gone. So you're contributing to the breakdown of dharma, righteousness, goodness, fairness, justice, all such things. You're contributing to that. So now, Arjuna, in the very same way, forget about posterity. Sanatana Dharma will be protected or not. Forget about justice. Forget about the rule of law. He's now thinking, my people on that side, no, I cannot kill them. So your people on that side are the same ones who are promoting adharma in the society. They're the same ones who are promoting all the wrong things, responsible for the breakdown of law and order, responsible for the breakdown of society, the decadence in society. But you're not thinking about that now and the upkeep of dharma. You're thinking, my people, how can I kill them? And you're also forgetting your own duty as a kshatriya. In the very same way in the administrative process, you're forgetting about your own duty toward the people of the nation. When you take office, you take an oath, na? You forget your duty and responsibility, obligation toward the people of the nation. All the oath also and the oath is an oath of dharma only. So exactly the situation of Arjuna on that battlefield is the exact same situation in society every single day. That is why the philosophical teachings of the Gita, they are perennial, because we are not talking about new problems. We are talking about the same problem every day. And what a fundamental level that the Lord is tackling this problem. So now he is going to rehabilitate that mind of Arjuna. He has to rehabilitate the mind of Arjuna and make him do, or convince him to do that which is the right thing, regardless of what you feel about your people. If the right thing is done, do you know one more thing? I'll tell you something. Please, all those people who are on this side of the political divide or who are on that side of the political divide, please pay attention to this one important principle. And that is, when you take only for your people, in the short run, it appears that your people are being helped. But in the long run, that is detrimental to everybody in the country. And when you stand for dharma and you stand for justice and equality and fairness, that is to the benefit of the both sides of the divide in the long run. So what, in the same Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about seeking short-term benefit and sacrificing long-term benefit. Yattadagre vishamiva. In this same Bhagavad Gita, that your sight is so short that you only see, while you get the opportunity, grab, take. What do you want? More. In that short time, you become a morist. Grabist. Grabalicious. Yes. You're not thinking about the long-term survival and the perpetuation of a viable, just, fair society that's governed by the rule of law and is founded on the principles of dharma that will bear fruit for all and sundry equally in the future. You're not thinking about that kind of society. You're thinking about a society that is, you're there for 5 years or whatever, 10 years. Better get as much as you could get. And there are few people only who have that vision of the Lord. Few people who are willing to take up that vision of the Lord. So now, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, you have to get up and fight from a number of points of views. One is, don't ever think that you are killing those people. You really cannot kill anybody in this world. Because the jiva who is living inside that body, in those bodies, they are eternal. They move from body to body. On that basis, you fight. Arjuna said, no. Okay, one more thing. From the point of view of your dharma, swadharma, you are kshatriya by nature. Your dharma is to fight. So on that basis, you get up and fight. Arjuna said, Prabhu, what is the use of fighting and killing your own people and upholding some dharma which I don't know will bear fruit and this and that? I will not fight. Bhagavan said, okay, if you think that they will die, let me tell you one more rule about this universe. You think that they will die? Still you don't have to worry. They will be born again. Somewhere. So no fight. He said, Prabhu, how I know they will be born again somewhere? Okay. Arjuna, now on this, now he's trying, samadhana, bheda, danda, everything is trying for Arjuna. So now there's another rule. If that doesn't work, then you try this. If this doesn't work, then you try that. Arjuna, for you, in this whole situation here, there is only win-win, So he's appealing, he's trying some incentive. There's only win-win for you. Arjuna said, win-win? What is win? He said, if you win this battle, you will get his whole kingdom. So you win. If Kauravas win this battle and you die, you get Swarga, heaven. So again you win. So both sides you win. So Arjuna said, Prabhu, in both cases, I will have to kill so many people that side, and they will kill so many people on this side. So he's only thinking about people dying. And whose people? His own people. The teaching there in Bhagavad Gita is that the whole thing is rooted in me and mine. This is the underlying teaching of Bhagavad Gita. The whole Arjuna's inability to fight came about because of the feeling of me and mine. In the past, he had fought so many a battle and he had killed so many people, and because none of those people was his, he had no qualms about killing anybody. So many people he had fought and killed. But now, where mine is concerned, wherever mine is concerned. So any argument the Lord is giving now, none of the argument is working because it's mine. Me and mine. Tulsidaji writes wonderfully in this Ramayana. That itself is Maya. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. how we are all sunk in this Maya and taken up by this me and mine. This is what Tulsidaji mentioned in this Chopai. This feeling of me and mine, you and yours, that itself is Maya. So Arjuna is rooted in that me and mine. And Bhagavan Shri Krishna in his Bhagavad Gita spends verse after verse after verse trying to remove, eradicate, obliterate this very, very insidious disease of humankind. This feeling of me and mine. Based on that, human being does all wrong things. Every wrong thing in this world is rooted in this me and mine. People only care about themselves. That is Arjuna. That has to be uprooted. So now, he tries all of these different things to get Arjuna to fight. But that me and mine is not going away. Me and mine will only go away with something called as Atma Gyan. And to get at Atma Gyan means knowledge of the Atma, the self, God. Supreme knowledge, the absolute knowledge. Para Vidya, it is called in the Mundaka Upanishad. So to get that Para Vidya, for that, the person has to go through a process for that Atma Gyan. That is like any other thing. If you want to get CXC, passes, but you have to go through a process or not? But you will just go to school on the first day, and at the end of the first day, you think you will get CXC passes? One little fellow came home from school on the first day of school. So the mother asked him, "How was school?" He said, what to tell you? I have to go back tomorrow. Yeah. He feels going to school. One day you should have gotten everything. What to tell you? So, you have to go through a process. So, Bhagwan will now take Arjuna through this process. So, let me tell you what the process is. The process is, first, the goal should be pointed out. Because if you tell somebody, "Chalo bhai, come with me," what is the first question the person asks? Anybody you tell, "Come with me," but the first question, where are we going? Huh? Everybody want to know? Where are we going? So the goal has to be pointed out to Arjuna. That goal is called Atma Gyan, the self, that self which is imperishable. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana. Nainam chinnanti shastanai. That self which is, which never dies, which is unborn. That self which cannot be cut, wet, dried, burnt. So that goal is pointed out to Arjuna. After the goal is pointed out, you tell the fellow, "Come with me." So he asks, "Where are we going?" So he tells, "Oh, we're going there." And the second question, how? What is the second question? How? We walking, riding, flying, running? How? How are we getting there? So you have to know how to get there. So after the Lord introduces the goal to Arjuna in the second chapter, lays out the path, this is where we have to get to this high state of enlightenment. Now from the third chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells the means. How are we going to get there? There's some means we have to use to get there. And in the third chapter, we start with what is called as Karma Yoga. The means is Karma Yoga. And he goes on telling about Karma Yoga all the way up to even the 6th chapter. And then from the 7th chapter, he tells now, you shift gear. You start using some additional means. What is that? From the 7th chapter, Bhakti Yoga. In serial order. And that goes again all the way up to chapter 12. And again from chapter 12, you shift gear. Now you use some Gyan Yoga from 13 until 18. So this is how the thing is laid out in Bhagavad Gita. In the second chapter, he lays out the goal. From the 3rd chapter until 6th chapter, he tells Karma Yoga is the means. Then, in addition to that means, you use Bhakti Yoga till chapter 12. And from 13 onwards, you add something more. And that is what we keep doing even in our ordinary education system. We keep doing that or not? See here in ABC, they're only teaching you you know, little alphabet, this, that, and some rhyme. Was that hickory dickory dock? They teach those things down below, na? Hickory dickory dock. One little boy gone home. He changed the rhyme. He come back in school the next day. Teacher said, okay, say that rhyme, hickory dickory dock. Hear him now. Hickory dickory dock. 2 mice ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, and the other one escaped unhurt. He make his own. But in that class, they teach you all these rhymes and the cow jump over the moon and the dog and the bone and all that kind of thing, right? And then when you move to the other class higher and higher, they keep adding things that you had never seen, what you never seen, never heard. Huh? But that is a shock me every time. I don't know about you. When you go up higher now, the teacher tells you, okay, now we will do calculus. I said, but I learned calculus. Calculus and calculating is the same. No. When he said calculus, I thought calculus and calculating is the same. Algebra, functions and relations. Bapre. When he added up all these things, I get chakkar in the class. But they keep adding things as you go on. So here now, Arjuna also was the goal. Then I give him simple thing. You know, Arjuna, you have to get into a phase of what we call as karma yoga. And then he adds on something in the 7th chapter onwards. Then in 13th chapter he adds on some more. And he keeps adding and takes him along this journey and brings him all the way to the end of the 18th chapter, where Arjuna said, Prabhu, your technique has worked. I have been fully rehabilitated. And he stood up and took up that bow and arrow again. And he said, Karishe vachanam tava. I will do exactly as you said. And even though having less number of people in his army and all, Arjuna went there and demolished that Kaurava army and came out victorious in the end. This is the story of Bhagavad Gita. This is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. This is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. The only way that could have happened is to rehabilitate that personality with one very important thing, and that thing is called as the knowledge of the self, Atma Gyan. If that knowledge is not there, no proper rehabilitation is possible. No type of rehabilitation is possible. That is why we spend millions and millions and millions on all type of rehabilitative processes, but none of them work. In addition to what you are doing in the rehabilitative process, you are supposed to be giving some of the most fundamental knowledge. That is supposed to be part of the education system. But who is doing it? That is why we have such a strong element of spirituality in the Chinmaya Vidyalaya schools. This thing is being given from the childhood age. If that is not there, the rehabilitative process will never work. What you churn out from the education system, you churn out from the education system at the highest level more and more what we call in Trinidad smart men. What is smart man? What is smart man in Trinidad language? The one who knows which strings to pull and how to swindle and embezzle and stash away in foreign banks and build skyscrapers in Toronto. That kind of thing you churn out from your education system. So now, Bhagwan goes through the process with Arjuna. From tomorrow, we will begin that process with the 5th chapter of, well, we'll take it up where he reaches in the 5th chapter. I will give you some slight details about the 3rd, 4th, and then we'll go into the 5th chapter. All right. Okay.